my sewing friends. Welcome to Vlogmas Day 4. I'm Jen, and this is my sewing room where I often need to write things down. So I wanted to talk to you about a wonderful gift that you can buy for anybody in your life for any reason. But specifically, they're nice to have in the sewing room because they're so helpful for remembering what you wanted to, some method that you don't want to lose the details on, but you can't hold in your head, for keeping track of your patterns, your changes you made to patterns, your favorite patterns, what you made, how many times you made that thing and out of what, and that kind of thing. I'm talking about bullet journals. Now, I call them bullet journals, but they're really not bullet journals as such. They're just journals. And I have 3 here, and I'm going to tell you about them and why I like them and why they're a great gift. This was my very first bullet journal, and I got it because I needed a journal to keep my notes in for my audiobook channel, which is called Jen Talks Audiobooks. I haven't put anything out on that for a while, but I talked about books for 6.5 years. And this was the way I kept track of what I was doing. But I did a lot of research before I got this. This is from Amazon. It's an 8.5 by, I think, 6.5 journal. And let me tell you about the things that I like that I wanted in a journal. This, by the way, was not expensive. I think it was under $20. The first thing is it's kind of like a faux leather, and I really like that. I like the stitching. I like the look of it, to be honest. It's made by Ricobello. It has an elastic band to keep it shut, which I like, and I like that it's got, the leather part here. It's also got a little elastic tab here that you can put a pen in, which I did for a while. It has ribbons that you can use to keep track of your page. And so I like that. On the inside, the most important thing to me was that it had dots. I love the dots. I like that instead of lines because I like to draw little doodles and illustrations and that kind of thing. Don't get me wrong, I'm not an artist. I just do the best I can. But I don't like the confines of a lined piece of paper. I know that's going to sound like, what is the matter with you? I don't put me in a box. Lines are a box, and I don't like being in a box. I want to be free with dots. So yeah, that's why I chose this. Another reason I chose this was that it said it opened flat, and indeed it does. It's really flat. So if you have to write, you don't have to worry that it's coming up like that, like a book would, which it is a book, but it's flat. I like that a lot. It's got this great little envelope in the back that you can put treasures in or goodies. It has numbered pages, which is nice, because at the beginning it has an index that you can fill out. And I think I did fill it out, but here. That's just something I copied from the bullet journal website, but it's got, your page number and what you had on that page number. And, I say that I use this for BookTube, and I did for the most part, but there were times that I put other things in it. Like I have a whole section of thoughts that I had after reading various passages in my Bible. There's one page in here that is a recipe for blueberry muffins. I don't know where it is. But, anything you want to use it for. Calendar. I did one whole section on a road trip that we took, a road trip adventure. I did things like the best books of 2018. I did one section was a road trip. Oh, there's the blueberry muffins. That's a good recipe, too. I did one whole section of going to Alaska to see my daughter and my son-in-law, and I just wanted it to be pretty. So it's a calendar, and there's not really much on it other than Alaska and moving day, and that's about it. It really is. It was my birthday. Anyway, so that's what I've used that for. I don't really use it much anymore because this is really a book journal more than anything. Whereas This is an extra one, and this is my sewing journal. This is what I use for all things sewing. I got it on clearance at Walmart when it was the school clearance, the back to school clearance, and it is my sewing. Yes, I drew that. It is a very rudimentary third grader's tomato pincushion. So I have measurements. I have how to do an FBA. These were just things that I wanted to be able to remember, and I didn't want to have to refer back to something that wasn't already in front of me. I have all kinds of things in here, but they're all sewing things. VLOGMAS. What I do is, if I want to make it pretty, then I just find a font that I like on Pinterest, and I use that, and I copy it. It's really, I'm a copy artist. I mean, if I were a painter, it would be me copying all the greats. You know, and fonts, you can get really fancy with them, or you don't have to get really fancy with them. And you can do anything that you want with a journal like this. One other thing is that they have perforated pages, so you don't have to worry about, you know, ruining the binding and all of that if you make a mistake and need to pull it out. This doesn't have that little envelope in the back, but, and it also doesn't lay flat. See the difference? It has the ribbons, which is nice, but, you know, it's also bigger than this one. So, you know, depending on what you want to use it for, you know, there are all kinds of options, especially on Amazon, and I will link some of those below. Something else I'm going to link below are these. These are Frixion pens. Now, you probably have heard people talk about these in the sewing community because the ink disappears with heat. So you can just mark your fabric and then iron it away. Well, I didn't know about that until I already had a couple of sets of these. I had a ballpoint pen set. This is one of them. It's just a little clickable pen. And I have a whole set of those. In fact, I just bought a new set, and I have them in colors, not just in black and blue. But I use those to write, and then I use these markers, which are like a felt tip marker. They're a relatively fine point, but not overly so. They're not like a Sharpie. They're not fat like that, but you know, they're more like a pen, but they're a felt marker. And I have several of those. These were the ones that I got when I was starting with my bullet journal. So much, I mean, time has gone by and I've used them so much that I've had to get more because they run out of ink. I now have this set because my markers were starting to run out of ink. I got these, which I have several. I mean, it came in a full set. There are a lot more colors over there, but this is a finer tip marker, which is nice. Just I bought these to use with fabrics, but I can use them in my bullet journals too. I do that because I make a lot of mistakes and I didn't want to have to pull pages out or have a lot of scratched out things that remind me of mistakes. I don't like that. I just like it very clean. So I am not an artist. Let me reiterate that. I'm just not. I can't draw things, but I can copy things. So yeah, my point is you don't have to be an artist. You don't have to get fancy. You can use this for whatever you like. That's why they're such a great gift for anybody, but especially you. So like I say, I'll leave a link down in the description box for some on Amazon. And that will do it for day 4 of Vlogmas. If you would like to see the previous 3 days, then just check right over here. And that'll do it for me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Merry Christmas.